Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we're making something that is a summer treat. I've got radishes from the garden, and yeah, they're not red. These are called golden Helios. They're not that gold either, but I scrubbed them with a brush and I think some of the outer skin came off a little bit. Radishes, room temperature butter, and a teaspoon of lemon juice, a small little food processor here, and that's all there is to it. Basically, we're going to get to it here in a second. Please consider hitting the subscribe button or hitting like if you like the video. Subscribing really helps out. It's a simple recipe. It's great in the summer. Today I'm just putting it on some French bread, but we're going to get right to it here after I turn the camera around. So here we go. We're going to get started. First thing we're going to do is take the knife, and I'm going to slice these radishes up. Pretty thinly sliced, but not super thin. I'm also going to, just for a few moments, let them sit on a piece of paper towel, and that's going to take a little bit of the excess moisture out of them. After you process these and you let it sit, sits for a while, some of the water may separate out because the radishes have a lot of water. You could cut these and then put some salt on them and let them drain in a colander, but I really don't want to make this overly salty, and I don't want to pull moisture out only to salt it back up. So you just take your radishes like this, and like I said, this is called a golden Helios. It's supposed to look like a little sun. Helios is the mythical god who had his steeds and his chariot that carried the sun around the world, and every morning brave Helios he'd wake up and he'd get started with his job, and the sun would come up. But they didn't turn out real golden. They're kind of white, but here they look a little kind of dusty, musty. All right, I'm going to cut these up, and I'm going to pause this for a second. I'll get them all cut up, and then I'll move on to the next part. This recipe calls for half a cup of butter, which is a stick of butter, standard stick. Half a cup of radishes, and I just sort of guesstimated it should be half a sliced cup or stick of butter. And also calls for a teaspoon of lemon juice. You could use salted or unsalted butter. This is unsalted. And I'm just going to toss this in. It basically just calls for creaming the butter. So pop it in here and get it started. That's pulsed it a little bit, and it's pretty softened up. So now here go the radishes. And they don't need to be in there for too long. Well, actually, and the lemon juice, about a teaspoon. Okay, well, the stuff is ready now. I'm gonna find a large ramekin here. I think that should hold a cup without a problem. A couple of things I want to mention. Number one, on this little guy, if I would have used the pulse function, which is what I did when I shut the camera off, it does a whole lot better job of chopping everything up. And to tell you the truth, you know, it looks a lot like butter, but it is loaded up with delicious radish. It's been just creamed a little bit now. If you use your regular red skin radishes from the store, this turns out in a real nice pink color, very very eye-catching. These were the radishes that I grew this year. They're supposed to be a little less likely to get really woody and real hot to the taste when the hot weather rolls around. See, you got most of them, but there's one piece there. So it's pretty hot right now. It's in the 90s. And going to be in the 90s for the next 8 days. The radish crop has just started coming in. I got it planted a little bit late. But this will keep refrigerated for a couple of weeks. And some people actually, I've read other recipes from other platforms rather than the cookbook that I used. Some folks will roll this up in parchment paper into like a little log and put it in the fridge, and then if they make a lot of it, they might put some in a freezer also, and it'll last for months that way. So here we go. Nice combination. You know, you think about things that are hot and sour, sweet and sour, things like jalapeno pepper, which is, or jalapeno pepper cheese, which is something, you know, dairy and fatty like butter, and then something hot. So here it is. Makes a nice kind of appetizer in hot weather. And this has a pretty mild but distinctive radish undertone to it. So again, hit like if you like this, consider subscribing, and watch out for more garden related videos as the summer goes on. The tomatoes are looking pretty good out there, the peppers are coming along. The beans have not started flowering yet, but they should soon, and the cucumbers and squash will get going before long. So we'll be doing a lot of fresh garden related videos over the next couple months.